So I just found out that I've been talking for like half an hour at a camera that wasn't recording anything. So I really truly was talking to myself this whole time. That's cool. Hey everyone, it's Olivia and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be reviewing Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. If you have been watching my videos, then you would know that Carry On is my favorite book of all time. I picked up Carry On, which is actually my favorite book of all time, which is saying a lot because before I read this book, I did not have a favorite book and I don't think I could ever pick a favorite book, but here we are. I love this book. I have read it at least 10 times at this point, and that's like at least. I love this book. Every time I want to read a new book, I would look on my shelf, see Carry On, and just want to reread that instead because it's my comfort read. It's my favorite read, and every time I read it, it just gets better and better. There are so many things that I didn't notice before that I notice again. Once you know the whole story throughout, you start seeing everything, and it's just absolutely pure genius. Rainbow Rowell is a genius. She is amazing, and what she's done with Carry On has just blown my mind. I love this book. Also, if you've been watching my videos, you would have noticed that Carry On was on my shelf before and it isn't anymore, and I don't have it with me. I gave it to a friend of mine because she is actually going to see Rainbow Rowell when she is on tour for Wayward Son. I'm not bitter about it at all. No, I am so jealous that she gets to go, and I'm so mad that I'm in San Diego right now and she's going to meet her and I'm not. But she's taking my copy of Carry On to get signed for me, which is honestly the sweetest thing. So if you don't know what Carry On is, it is a fantasy novel. Carry On is about Simon Snow, who is the worst chosen one to ever be chosen. He attends this school of magic called Wayward School of Magics, and it's his last year there, and things are just going downhill for him. His girlfriend breaks up with him. His roommate, who is also his arch nemesis, who he thinks is a vampire, hasn't shown up since the beginning of the year. There is this evil entity called the Insidious Humdrum, which is sucking out magic from the world and leaving behind dead spots that don't have magic. And this Insidious Humdrum is gallivanting around the world in the form of Simon's 11-year-old body. And Simon, poor Simon, can't get a hold of his magic. He cannot control it. He explodes with it. He goes off, and things around him tend to set on fire. And what better way to teach the chosen one how to save the world than by giving him a flaming sword, the sword of mages. Yes, it's on fire, and Simon sets everything on fire. It's foolproof. It's already on fire. Needless to say, things are not going very well for Simon, and he's very stressed. But it's a good thing he has his best friend Penny by his side, who is the brains of the operation. She is super smart. She loves Simon. They are best friends, and honestly, it's just pure friendship, and I absolutely love them. So you're probably thinking, no wait, you're definitely thinking, wait a second. This story kind of sounds familiar. A school of magic, a chosen one with a super intelligent best friend. Yeah, it sounds a lot like Harry Potter, doesn't it? And you wouldn't be wrong. But here's the thing, Rainbow has taken basically these concepts from Harry Potter and turns it and twists it into a completely original, different story, and it is amazing. You don't have to like Harry Potter to read this book. You don't have to know of Harry Potter to read this book. This book is completely its own thing, and it is amazing on its own. A lot of people don't like it because it's like Harry Potter, and a lot of people love it because it is like Harry Potter, and I personally love it as its own thing. But also as a fan of Harry Potter, it's great to see the parallels in there because it just makes it so much better, in my opinion. The fact that you can see where it kind of is inspired by and what parallels are from Harry Potter to Carry On, then you will just realize what a freaking genius Rainbow Rowell is. She is, oh my god, she is amazing. What she's done with Carry On, it's incredible. Carry On is actually a companion novel to Rainbow's other novel, Fangirl, and in Fangirl, the main character, Kath, is obsessed and a huge fan of the Simon Snow series, and she writes fan fiction for it. And in Fangirl, you get little snippets of like the Simon Snow series in there, and Carry On is basically Rainbow's version of the Simon Snow series, if that makes sense. So it's not a part of the fictional Simon Snow series from Fangirl, and it's not Kath's fan fiction in the world of Fangirl either. This is completely Rainbow's take on all of this. So you don't have to read Fangirl first to read Carry On. I actually read Carry On before I read Fangirl, so for me to read Carry On first and then read Fangirl, it felt a lot better, honestly, because then, even though Carry On's not technically the same Simon Snow universe that exists in Fangirl, I became a fan of Simon Snow, so I related a lot more to Kath in Fangirl, and I understood her more and about the universe that's kind of expressed in that book too. So I felt like reading Carry On first is better, but I wouldn't know because I can't do both. I love this magic system. I love it. It is so good. I don't understand, and this is coming from a writer, I don't understand how people come up with these creative, innovative, cool ideas for magic systems. It's so hard. I am working on a fantasy novel right now, and I'm just like, it has to make sense. There have to be rules, there have to be limits, and like, it's so hard, and I don't really know how you can even come up with spells. Like, it's incredible. Anyway, in Carry On, the magic system is based off of the power behind words and phrases. I don't think I'm explaining this really well, but basically there is power in words, there is power in phrases that are commonly known and used, like Open Sesame. It is something that's been around for forever, and in Carry On it is a spell to open things, so you could use it on a door. There are nursery rhymes, basically just common phrases that you hear all the time that you don't really would think of as a spell, and it's so cool because everybody knows it. It's like a universal thing, and so it has power, and like, come out wherever you are. For some reason, can't remember most of the spells, and those were really lame examples, but even song lyrics are in there, poem, Shakespeare, you know, just all these phrases that people would know turned into spells. This book is written from first-person perspective, from multiple perspectives. It may seem a lot if I start listing out all the characters that the perspectives are from, but they're mainly from Simon, and then Baz, and Penny, and Agatha. There are a few other characters who we also get to see perspectives from, and it may seem like a lot, but all of these characters have very distinct voices. So just to wrap up the non-spoiler part of this, I love this book because it is fun, it is a twist on a chosen one trope, and it is just genius. It is absolutely genius. I love this book. Some things that I don't like about this book is the fact that it kind of starts off a little slow, but once it picks up, it definitely picks up. So if you want to pick up this book and read it, don't expect it to kind of just have a lot of action at the beginning. It has a lot of sort of exposition and, you know, world building first, and then you get into the good stuff. Okay, so now it's time for the spoiler part. Like I mentioned before, I don't have my copy of Carry On with me, so I can't even look at all my favorite parts, so all this stuff is gonna be by memory, and my memory sucks, so this isn't gonna have any kind of like structure. I'm just gonna kind of do whatever. Baz is my favorite character. He is so melodramatic and just so extra, and I love him so much. Can we just talk about Baz's entrance? He's been missing since the beginning of the book. It takes like, what, 100 pages for him to show up, and boy did he show up. He is so extra. He used Open Sesame, a spell, to open the doors dramatically so that he can make a grand entrance, and then I just knew this dramatic character is my favorite. I love him already, and just everything else throughout the book just made me fall in love with him. He is awesome. He's my favorite character, and I just want to protect him. I also love how this book is a twist not just on the chosen one trope, but on the love triangle. Is that even a trope, or is that called something else? I used to love triangles before it was like overly done, but now it's just so predictable and silly to me. But I love what Rainbow has done here. Simon and Agatha and Baz. Simon was dating Agatha, and then they broke up, and Agatha was trying to get with Baz, and Baz was only entertaining Agatha because he wanted to make Simon jealous. And jealous he was, but he thought he was jealous of Baz, not of Agatha. So I just think it's fantastic to just twist the love triangle trope, and it's not a girl with two guys. It's one guy with two options, a girl and a guy. And I just think it's really, really awesome. And I just think it's great to have LGBT characters. Simon and Baz, oh my god. They are my OTP. I love them so much. And oh my god, Baz is so in love with Simon. And I love that. And I love the fact that Simon is just so oblivious to this fact because he's just set on Baz hates me. He's going to kill me someday, but I gotta kill him first. Like, it's the most dramatic love triangle you are ever gonna read. Like, who cares about Twilight? Bella who now? No. We're making room for Simon Snow. Speaking of Simon Snow, awesome name for a character. But I also love Baz Pitch because Snow, like Snow White, Pitch, like Pitch Black, they are like opposites in their name too, but also his name is Basilton. It sounds so posh. I just think it's really funny. I think it's cute. Another thing about this book that I absolutely love is the plot, because the first time I read this, I did not know what was going to happen. I couldn't predict it. I know that some people said that it was predictable, but call me oblivious, but I didn't see that coming. Specifically is like I didn't know that the Insidious Humdrum was basically just Simon, and that was just a projection of his magic and his moments of going off that has sucked magic out of the world. I didn't really see that coming. Reading it again, I should have. I was genuinely surprised. However, there are other things in the book that I wasn't as surprised about, which is obviously the mage was evil, but the mage is Simon's dad? I did not see that coming. I didn't know who Lucy was, and then when I found out, I was just like, wait, what? And then with the mage and like the whole creating a baby that was like super magical, I was just like, what is this? This book, no matter how kind of light it actually is pretty dark. And another thing that I love about that book is just that it keeps surprising me that there is more than just this overarching plot of Simon's the chosen one and he needs to destroy this Insidious Humdrum. There's so much more going on. And another thing is that Simon and Baz were enemies since the beginning, but they set aside their differences to work together in order to defeat the Insidious Humdrum, which I think is really cool. It's a hero teaming up with his nemesis in order to save the world. I just think that that kind of team up is really cool, but I'm also a sucker for the enemies to friends and lovers trope, so maybe that's just me. I'm so sad that Eb died. I was really upset when Eb died. The mage is a butthead. He's the worst. I hate him. It's actually really, really freaking sad that at the very end, the only way that the mage would ever stop hurting Simon was if he was dead. That blew my mind. When I read that, I like needed time to process because Simon was just like, stop hurting me, and the only way he could ever stop hurting him was if he was dead. Oh, and let's talk about Baz's sad backstory. He's a vampire. His mom was murdered by vampires and he became the thing that she despised the most, and that's why he hated himself so much. My poor baby. The love of his life hated him, and then one day they were gonna have to battle it out, and Baz had accepted that he was going to die by Simon's hand. And that is just so heartbreaking. Some of my favorite quotes and moments. Everyone who loves Carry On knows chapter 61, favorite chapter, but really it's chapter 62, guys. Honestly, read chapter 62 and try and fight me and tell me that 61 is the better chapter. I love when Simon's like, nobody's seducing a vampire. And then Baz frowns. It's like, excuse me, you're seducing a me. And me is a vampire. I absolutely love that line. Front seats are for people who aren't kidnapped by effing numpties. I absolutely love Fiona. She's awesome. Not a quote, but I love the fact that Penny can just access the boys' dormitories because she's Penny and she's awesome. I don't know how she bypassed that, but that was cool. I absolutely love this book and I'm so excited for Wayward. So if you read Carry On, I would love to hear your opinion about it. So let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a like, and if you want to see more of my stuff, then click subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye!